the knowledge of my life exists was back there.
The Miscellaneous Podcast, Episode 5.
But how I grew a will was constantly doing these things. To now, it's just life. I wake up, while it still sucks, it's just life. You don't sit back and like, oh my God, like I have days I don't want to do it, but I know I'm going to do it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Miscellaneous Podcast, Episode 5. I got my boy Luis in the house. He's a cousin of mine, younger cousin of mine. Just giving him the stage here, the platform for him to, let you know about, things he has going on, things he's done, and things he's learned along the way. So welcome, man. Appreciate you wanting to do the podcast, bro. And we're both in the garage. This is the first time I do it in my garage. That's hilarious.
Dude, for real, right? That's funny, bro. Look at that. That's that sync, bro.
So what's up, man?
Yeah,
What you got
man.
going on, man?
Oh, man, dude. A lot, man. I got a lot, actually, man. It's crazy how, you asked me to be on this, and about a week ago, I started, like, writing down some stuff, about my goals for next year, And one of my goals is actually just to get out of my comfort zone, which is hard, bro. People don't think that that's hard. So definitely like just doing this right here, bro, is good. It feels good to do something like this and to actually get out of my daily routine.
What's some of your
So
daily
definitely,
routines you
man.
got going on, man?
Right now, man, honestly, it's I work. A good amount of hours a day. I come home, I do some more work. But what I added to my routine is actually just starting working out. I started working out, really working out about like 2.5 months ago. And it's became a part of my routine where I automatically go right after work, you know? And it's either depending on how much time I have, I go for 30 minutes or I go for an hour, So it definitely was hard to put that in my routine because I wasn't used to it. And honestly, like I'd get lazy and I'd be like, damn, bro, I don't want to go, but definitely like making it a habit to go, it just started to become more like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go every day. It's just became like I'm getting off of work, going straight to the gym.
What are what
So yeah,
are
man.
what are some of the benefits, man, that you've noticed, like in trying, like starting going to the gym, taking care of yourself? Like, what are some of the benefits that you think you're like mental benefits, physical benefits? What's some of the benefits you've noticed?
Yeah, bro. Honestly, dude, mentally, it just helps me out so much, like with work, and I'm pretty sure with a lot of people, like it's stressful sometimes, You're constantly like my job, man, I'm a salesman, so I'm constantly running into things that I have to search, constant like, situations I have to fix for customers because that's what I have, you know. So it's definitely every single day it's a challenge, but it's a good challenge, right? Like you want that kind of challenge every single day because it helps you be better tomorrow. And going to the gym, man, like it just helps me distress. It helps me, you know, be a better person by knowing that the limit that you think you might have, you can surpass that. That mental block that you have, that all goes away when you're in a gym and you're around a whole bunch of people that are in the same, I guess, mindset as you as they want to get better, you know? And even with like health wise, bro, like I think I peaked like at like 230, bro, 235. And I was like, dude, like, what the fuck, bro? Like, what the fuck? What's going on? Like, dude, I've been skinny my whole life, bro, like a twig. And, I dropped down to like 190, and right now I'm like at like 202, and I feel like it's just kind of me more kind of trying to build muscle these days. But just a challenge, bro. And it feels good to feel healthy, eating better and staying away from certain things that, you want to crave and now you don't even crave it no more. You eat like I ate a bag of like a half bag of like these like hot kind of chips today and I was like, fuck dude, like that shit felt weird, like it made me feel right.
No, that
So it
definitely
definitely
happens,
helps
man.
out.
It definitely happens. I obviously, health reasons, I had to change my diet. I don't think I've had soda in quite some time. Only when I go to my mom's, man, because they never have water in their house. And like the last few times I've gone over there, it's like I gotta drink a soda, you know. But I'm like, so now I try to take my own water with me. But um, for me, man, I wanted to get you on here just because I know that you have a different perspective than like a Richwood with his upcomings, or even Moo, like you know, like I think that you're one of the few, I want to say, that your parents always stuck around together, thick and thin. You know, your parents were always there
Yeah.
together. You know, thick and thin, like your household, your family. You know, your brothers and sisters, all of that. But I still feel like, in a way, um, what I've gotten to learn and see, you know, about you as you became an adult, and you know, you became a father and you started doing all that, you started really seeing what important it is for you to take care of your household, right?
Yeah.
What's important to take care of, what's important for you. And a lot of people never understood that when it came to me, and always trying to be so private, you know, and it's
Yeah.
like, not the fact that I'm trying to be private, is that I ain't got the time to, like I know my family, bro. What is am I either gonna go out, get shit faced, and you know, come back the next morning with absolutely nothing, been there, done that, or am I gonna try to push for my goals, right? Um,
Yeah.
the fear of missing out, that's always the biggest fear, but it gets easier, right? Because I get to provide my kids with stuff, right? I get to provide them with
Of
things that
course.
they I couldn't ask for, right? You took your kid to Monday Night Raw, man. That that to me, I was like, yo, like I remember the reason, we'll get into it, but the reason I got into like wrestling, my dad used to watch it when I was small, you know, when I was little, and
Heck yeah.
you know, go to the Coliseum. I think I went one time to go see it, and I'm like, that is something that, you know, you get to share with your kids, you know. And for me, like I seen, even though we don't talk much, I seen like your hustle. You did the hats. I know we're still doing the hats.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
you did the hats. Like, you stay on your grind, man. But you've also had difficult moments, you know. And I want
Yeah.
you to talk about those difficult moments that, you know, that you've had, and you know, the times where you're just like, Luis might not be here no more, you know, and how that, you know, how that's impacted you,
Yeah.
man. Because there's people out there that might have gone through the same thing, or going through the same thing, and that's my purpose of this, man. Like I wanted to make this podcast miscellaneous because I want to be able to talk about good and bad, right? Good
Yeah.
and bad upbringings, good and bad everything, what we learn from it. Obviously, you know, and it was your mom's birthday, so I want to shout out to your mom. I know it was her birthday.
Oh, heck yeah, man,
Um,
for sure.
I sent
My mom and dad.
yeah, I sent your brother a little skit for her, so I don't know if he showed her to her yet or not. Um, but I definitely want to get into your life, man. Like, what you learned from commitment is coming from, like, as far as your parents. You know,
Yeah.
your dad's fucking awesome, you know. But I want to know, man, like, what struggles did you go through growing up, like things that you've been through, and what makes Luis Luis.
Yeah, for sure. No, no, definitely. No, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, yeah. Shout out to my parents, man. You know, like, growing up, they're, like you said, like, they always stood together, bro. And whether you saw the good and bad, which, obviously there's good and bad, they always found a way to make peace, at least for the day. Nah, you know. But yeah, man, it's growing up was. I mean, like I had a grateful life. I loved my life as a growing up, man. I think just staying positive until I started just exploring more about life, and obviously just going through the cycle of, okay, like, why do why do I try sometimes when no one notices? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that was kind of sometimes that brought me down, is like, it's you get straight A's, and you're doing sports, and it's like, no one gives you a pat on the back. And as a kid, like, you kind of want that. You know what I'm saying? You want that good job, and you don't get that. You're like, fuck it, man, I don't care. And I feel like that's kind of like what led me to a route of, like, I started doing dumb shit. I started not really caring, I started not really hiding how I felt about things, and it would mess me up, like how you said, like my upbringing and my upcoming was a blessing, but sometimes I know I fucked it up myself. You know, really, bro. Like really, like as a kid, bro. Like I blamed everybody for my problems. You know, I blame everybody for all my stuff, and you know, sometimes it is other people that it is their fault too. You know what I'm saying? It's a 50-50 thing, and you know, I started smoking too much, bro. I started drinking promethazine, bro. You know, I started fucking popping fucking Percocets, dude. Like I started doing all this shit, bro, where it's like at some moments, dude, like it felt good to like not feel, bro. For real. You know, and like that stuff right there, like it made me feel like I was okay when I wasn't though. You know what I'm saying? And then one point my mom kicked me out of the crib, you know, because I said I was still in school, bro. I was still in school, bro. Dude, man, I was on track to go to college and everything, bro. Like legit, man. Like I was in a senior, like going half year, bro. Like half day, you know. But like I got to the point where I'm like, dude, like no one cares. So like, why do I care? You know, which is not the way you should think, you know. But that's the way I thought, bro. You know, and you know, mom kicked me out, and like I said, that's when I was really just really just doing all this shit, bro, not caring and not caring about myself, really, you know, like when I should have, you
Yeah.
know, blame my parents for really just being tough love, you know, versus maybe giving me some attention and treating me different than everybody else, bro. You know, that's what kind of would fuck me up sometimes too. It's like, what the hell? Like, how come they get treated like this, but I don't, type thing. But you know, it was more of a personal thing, I guess, at that point, bro. But I don't regret anything I ever did because it made me who I am today. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think people like that go through things, you own up to it, right? You own up to it, and once you fix it, you learn to deal with a lot more things. You know, like I think my lowest of lows, I was sitting in my homie's car, and like I said, I was just going house to house to house, you know, just trying to find somewhere to sleep, dude. And I just thought to myself, I was like, damn, bro, like if I die today, like I don't think no one even fucking know. Like no one. Not a single soul, bro. Like that shit right there, I was like, damn, bro, like I called mom the next day. I was like, hey, you know what? Like I'm sorry, like I want to come home. And I went home, bro, and I started really just, you know, my mom's really Christian now, you know, so you know, like I started like she's like, you know, tell me to go to church, go to church, go to church. And I'm like, yeah, 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 you know. And then I actually started going with her and like it's kind of sparked something in me, you know what I'm saying? Like it kind of woke me up, bro. Like really, you know, like I'm not saying I'm Christian or anything like that, but I feel like I'm a free spirit, you know, like I'm a believer in high power. I'm a believer in faith, you know, and that right there, like it made me just think about life and it made me think about like, you know, like I do matter, bro. We do matter in this life. You know, we're here for a reason.
Mhm.
You know, we're all here for a reason, man. And so as long as we're here a day, then let's make something come out of that day,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I
So
feel it.
that's
I feel you on that, man. That's crazy, bro. Like I said, I didn't know you were kicked out. That's something else we got in common, right? Um,
yeah, that's
yeah, I got kicked out, man. But I think that some of us either we give up or we become
yeah,
stronger, right? You
yeah,
saw the motivation to be like you said, man. If you would have died today, like back then, you know, no one would even care, right?
yeah,
But I still have sometimes that mentality of like me, like when I was in the hospital, nobody knew. Like I don't want nobody
yeah.
to know. Like you have this certain image, right, to portray that you're unstoppable, right? You can't be hurt.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I've learned, man, is that, and I had to learn it literally like from my wife's family, bro. That they hold you down. You know, they actually
Yeah,
like they could communicate about anything. Like they communicate about, but it's weird. Like I never had that ability where I can go and speak to my parents. Like, yo, this is what's bugging me. Why? Because I was like, hey, I want to play basketball. No, you're gonna get this. You're gonna da 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 da. You know, hey, you know, and it was never bad shit. Like that's one of the things that like I want people to understand. Like people are like, oh, like like my mom's telling people like, oh, you know, he was this and he was gonna end up in jail or dead. All I was doing was going to go play basketball. Like that's all I was doing. Like I was going to the
Yo, for
park
real.
to play ball. Like yeah, like we grew up. I grew up 3rd Street and Fillmore and 43rd and Thomas. So yeah, you have to have a little bit of what the streets teach you, right? I'm not a
Yeah,
saint.
of course.
You know, of course I'm not a saint. I've done my stuff. You know, I've made my mistakes. I've done things where I regret. You know, there's some people in this world that are probably, you know, in the situations they are because of me, you know,
Yeah,
and that's just you being young and dumb, you know. But I also carry a lot of stories with me, a lot of scars. I have a lot of scars. I mean, you can't see it through like cameras, but when you see me in person, like I got scars in my face, across my whole body, my arms, you know. And I'm like, it'd be cool if I had a story like, yeah, this is from this dude we got in the spot. I got jet. No, I don't. They're all from my mom. You know, 90% of them
yeah,
are from my mother. So growing up in
definitely.
a situation like that where I can't even, I don't finish my food, I'm about to get knocked the hell out. Like
Yeah,
I learned in a real
yeah,
quick age, really, really quick, that if your mom has the ability to do that to you, what do you think somebody else is gonna do to you, right?
yeah,
So when somebody ever would like step to me, it would be like, yo, either you're going home today or I'm going home today, right? You have that mentality. And it's funny because when I got kicked out, I really got kicked out. I didn't see my mom again until I turned 22 years old. And I
yeah,
was 15, 16 when I got kicked out. And they're like, oh, why aren't you close to the family, blah, blah. Because in the biggest of times, right after my graduation, like, y'all weren't around, you know? Like,
yeah,
it was my ex's families or whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, I like with Juan, like, Juan's like, yeah, I don't feel like you guys don't love me, right? It's like, bro, it's not that we don't love you. We're 6 years apart. When I
yeah.
lived with you, like when I lived at home, I would take him to go get movies at Blockbuster, Hollywood Videos, go get him
Yeah, I remember
pizza.
that, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was there, right? But
Yeah,
when you get kicked out and you're not welcome, it's like you're gonna miss that out. So for me, it's like y'all don't know what I was doing from the age of 16 to I turned 21, and that's when I
yeah,
learned. Like I had to learn a lot of shit, and people are like, "Oh, like I have friends that are like, dude, like you guys are rich, you guys have cars, you go here. Y'all don't know what the fuck I've been through, and it would be a fucking dark day in hell to go back to that
yeah,
moment, right? Like y'all
yeah,
have no idea. Like I tell April all the time, like legitimately, like having kids like saved my fucking life. Like I was to that point, right? Because you
yeah.
hear it. Like I heard it my whole life. You're not good enough. You're not good enough. And I'm like, and it's not like cousins, friends, whatever. It's your mother. Like the main person who brings you to this world
That's
is telling
supposed
you
to
like,
be the
yo,
opposite.
yeah, like you're not gonna be good enough, right? To now she's like,
Yeah,
oh, like I tell everybody that you put tape in my mouth because you're so like successful and you're doing. I'm like, mom, till this day, I'm like, till this day, you don't know what the fuck I do for a living. I'm like,
yeah,
I could be a fucking mafia member. I can be a doctor. You don't know what the fuck I do for a living. Till this day.
yeah,
I'm like, there is maybe like not even 8 people that know where the fuck I live. Like,
yeah,
I have been so like tormented and it's like sometimes I do be like, yo, I'm gonna tell people like come through and but then I like go back to like fuck, like I don't wanna open myself like my doors and that's kind of why I'm doing this podcast. It feels like I can
yeah, for sure.
slowly start doing that, right? Letting people in,
Yeah,
letting like I said, there's coworkers of mine that didn't know that I had a stepdad. You know,
yeah,
it was easier for me to be like, yeah, I'm half Salvadorian, half Mexican. You know, it was a
yeah,
lot easier. And like for me, it's like I love my dad, right? I would support it 100%. Like, yeah, I'm half Salvadorian, half Mexican. I love his culture. Like his family is always treated us great. But at the end of the day, the older I get, the prouder that I am of my roots, you know?
yeah.
And that's the thing that I'm like, a lot of times I was afraid to speak Spanish, you know?
Hmm.
And now I'm like, I speak Spanish a lot now. Like, I think 90% of the time I'm speaking Spanish, I'm listening to Spanish music. And I'm like, yo, I'm proud of what I've seen, you know, because what I've
Definitely.
learned is all the negativity that happened in my childhood life. I learned to like kind of get rid of that and be like, what positivity did they bring to my life, right? Like with
Yeah,
my mom. very, very hard on me, right? But I saw how much she was of a grinder, right? She
Yeah,
third
definitely.
third
Oh
grade
yeah, for sure.
education, third grade education, fucked up leg where she lies to people about her leg that she says she's in a car accident. But I'm like, if you want to make my mom, if she wants to make $5,000 in a day, she'll do it.
Yeah, for
Like
sure. Dude, honestly, bro.
that.
Yeah.
That's what I learned. She's a fucking hustler. I'm gonna take that
Yeah.
from her. My dad will give you whatever he has. It's just nice, humble, full of love. I'm gonna take that from you. You know,
Exactly.
and that's kind of how I started seeing people now, bro. Like now I'm seeing people, and I'm like, I'm gonna look at your bad. I want to see what you're gonna do to improve my life, to improve how
Yeah.
I feel about things. Cause like I look at people and I'm like, damn, I have a fucking fantastic life. Sometimes when I hear people's shit, I'm like, I don't have
Yeah, for
those
sure.
issues. Like I can tell April, like, hey, I want to eat this. Cool, she'll make it. Like, hey, I want to go here. All right, let's go get it. Like, I'm
Yeah.
like, there's no limitations, right? And when you're with somebody that
Exactly.
that doesn't give you any limitations, you feel like you can do everything. And
Yeah.
and that's one of the things that I try to tell Rich in the podcast we had, man. I was like, we're not meant to be here for one specific thing. I don't think we are. You know,
No.
um,
Yeah.
I think that we can do multiple things. That's why, like, I'm doing the menudo and the pozole. I want to do the podcast. I'm starting my
Nah,
Twitch
dude, hell yeah.
stream. I want to make sure that I'm building foundations to where I don't get bored. Right? I have that
Yep.
mind where if I'm doing one thing for too long, I get bored and I'm out. Like, I need to
Mm-hmm.
build outlets for myself. I told her I want to get back in shape. The gym costs a lot. She's like, okay, let's invest. Started getting boxing
Yeah,
equipment,
hell yeah, bro.
started doing things here at home. And she's like, now you don't have an excuse, right? So I have that person that's like, you don't have an excuse. You want to make pozole? Cool, I'll buy you pots. Go handle it.
Yeah, yeah.
You want to go do this? Cool, go do that. And I'm just like, when somebody takes those excuses away from you, you're like, damn, now
Yep.
I got to put my money where my mouth is and go out and get it, right?
Exactly.
So for me, I think it was very important to find somebody that would do that.
Yeah.
Good, bad, in between. The good days, the bad days, the days where you're just like, I'm done, and
Oh yeah, man.
like between all of that, like that person, you're always gonna remember that, and you're gonna be like, when I had nothing, you
Mm-hmm.
were like, you're somebody, right? You are someone.
Yeah. Oh
And,
yeah.
and April's mom told me that, bro. Last time I got sick, she's like, you need to take care of yourself. She's like, because without you, your child is nothing. She's like, this
Yep.
little girl idolizes you. She's like, she wants to be just like you. Like, she mimics everything you do. She talks like you do. She acts like you do. She's like,
Mm-hmm.
and it was true, man. When I was in the hospital for 6 days, like, you could see it in her face when she finally saw me. She's like, don't do that again. So it's like a wake
Yeah.
up call, right? And that's what
Yeah.
kind of want like leading to like to you. Like I know that like there was one time that I didn't know that you suffered a really bad panic attack when you were younger.
Yeah.
And we kind of found out, and I was just like, yo, because people don't realize that you were one of those little kids, man, when we were growing up, that you had to have your fucking haircut like perfect all the time. Like you were young, bro. Like you were
Yeah, bro.
young.
Look at me now.
Big change. But you were really young, and you had to have your hair cut nice and clean all the time,
Yeah, for
and,
sure.
and you always carry yourself like a good kid, right? Um, like I remember those things. We used to play basketball outside of your guys' house.
Yeah,
But for me, I mean, like everyone knows, my biggest outlet has always been basketball. That's been my biggest outlet. I think when I'm playing
for
basketball,
sure.
I am completely free, and I think that no one could beat me. Like that's just my mentality, right? Um, what was for you some of your one biggest inspirations when you were growing up? And some of the things that you use till this day that are like your outlets. Mine's basketball and chess. Actually, I like chess. But
Heck yeah,
for
man.
you, like, what is something like growing up? You were like you idolized, and you were like, man, these are people I looked up to, and people that don't know, you held down, your nephew Joel. I think till this day
Yeah.
you hold that motherfucker down like I've never seen somebody hold somebody down, bro, and that's big ups because that wasn't your responsibility, but I think you took it as your responsibility to hold him down like that. Which commend you for that, bro. Like that speaks volumes, man. Like growing up, I wish I had somebody that would hold me down like that. You know what I'm saying? And maybe you needed somebody to hold you down. So already there, I think that you changed the link of what people's perspectives were, because you held him
Yeah.
down like he was like your little brother, man. Like
Oh yeah.
you literally till this day, I think, hold him down like that. And I commend you for that, man. But as I want to know, like, what are some of the things that inspires you or that you looked up to growing up that molded you, bro?
Yeah, man. No, for sure, man. I appreciate that, bro. For real, man. And people don't know that, man. Like even till this day, he actually we work together, bro. We work together, and it's funny because when I first started our job, I was a driver, and after a driver, all this happened within. I've been there for years. So I was a driver. Then I moved into inside the warehouse, and after I moved in the warehouse, I moved into my own little department, bro. Actually, and then after that, the owner moved me inside, like to like it's called front counter sales, right? And then not even like, maybe over a year ago now, I got moved into inside sales, and up to recently, I think about 2 months ago, Jawol got moved into inside sales. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's cool to see that, like it's cool to help somebody, who obviously went through shit that I've fucking never been through, bro. Like that shit would break me, So to help my little nephew like get through that hump in life and just give him my advice, like, and him actually take it, like, it's awesome, bro. Like, like it makes me feel good in life. It makes me feel like I'm doing purpose here on earth. You know what I'm saying? But man, growing up, man, like I was like you, man. I love playing basketball, bro. Like I feel like that was my way to escape, my way to feel like there's more to things, And I think I've always liked to do a whole bunch of stuff like you too, Like I've always liked to draw, I always liked to play ball, and then it wasn't until like I got more into my teenage years where I was really more into music, bro. Like music really took over at that point, man. Like I remember Martin used to DJ, and he lived like 3 blocks away from me, bro, and we started DJing together, and he'll hit me up like every like Tuesday and Friday to come over, and we'll just start mashing music, like he'll do 3 songs, I'll do 3 songs, and then we'll put on some beats, and then just start rapping and rapping, and then obviously like your brothers, Richie and all them, like they were rapping, bro. And I remember when I first hung out with Juanito at the house right there by the canal right there on 75th. Like he put on some beats and he was like, "You want to rap?" And I was like, "Shit, man, like I don't rap." But then he was like, "Hey, man, just say this verse that he wrote down." And I was like, "All right, cool, man." So like I hit that verse, and then next week, I started playing the song at school, and they're like, everybody's like, "What the fuck, you rapping?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a rapper." Man. So it was right there, man. Like I started, really started getting out of my comfort zone, and really falling into music, bro, where I would just start like listening to artists, man. Like I was really big into like Biggie, J. Cool. You said Eminem, bro, DMX, Kanye West, man. Like those guys to me, like they were a good part of music, and till this day, you still hear people. You still like what I love about Kanye, the rapper Kanye. Nah, you know, was that he was a producer, bro. He was a producer, and he became a rapper, and that wasn't even a thing. Like a rap producer, like that was hard to do. And I feel like that was awesome, bro, because you see people that can do multiple things and actually be successful at it. And I feel like that's what a lot of people don't think about in life sometimes. Like, like I can't do this. Like, I might not be good at it. Well, you don't know if you don't try,
Yep.
you know? And like, definitely like I love to play basketball. And I think, like I said, it all goes back to where like I kind of got away from that just because I just started hanging around with the wrong people and started caring less and, just doing dumb shit, man. But I think at that point, man, I was really like into music a lot more too. Where like I started buying my own studio setup, I started buying my own microphone, I started buying laptop softwares, and I was really getting into rap, bro. Like I feel like I was feeling it and it was feeling me back. You know, like I really was like, damn, bro, like I'm in my zone, you know, like I'm putting out songs and people are fucking with me, man, you know, like websites, Instagram pages are hitting me up, you know. So it was cool, man, you know, like I loved it, man. Like I love music, bro. Like I haven't rapped in a while. Um, but I feel like that helped me today, you know, like when you make music, bro, and like you're obviously like hearing sounds and you're creative. You have to have an imagination.
Yep.
You know, you use your imagination and then now you gotta put it together. So you gotta put your hook, you gotta put your ad libs, you gotta put your verse, you gotta make sure your second verse is good. You know, you gotta piece it all together, but also do it right. You know, and like that's why I feel like it helps me out in today, bro. Like at work, like I gotta make sure all these pieces of the puzzle go the right way because it's gonna help me be successful. You know what I'm saying? Um, but you know, it music was really it is a good part of me still. You know, like I said, I don't rap no more like I used to, man. Just because honestly, bro, like I'm a parent, bro. You know, like I'm a father, and you know, like I don't. I mean, I guess I have more time now because my kids are older. You know, and that's exactly like how you said, man. Like I want to get back into stuff like that. You know, like I want to get back into, you know, getting a little studio set up and you know just seeing what I got still. You know,
Yeah.
and think you know things like that. Like it, I don't regret any of that. Like I love music and I love making it, and I'll get back into it. But to this day, man, like it helped me become who I am.
Mm.
You know, it really did, man. Like that was my at one point that was my outlet, bro. You know, is expressing myself through sound. You know, like I would we lived in an apartment at that time, and I had like the little like outside storage. You know, I had that like all foamed up. All my stuff in there, and like I'll tell Marissa, you know, my lady, I'll be like, hey, you know, like I'm a go zone out for it. You know, and I'll go in there and I'll go in there for like 2 3 hours. You know, and just be in my own world, bro. You know,
Yeah.
express my feelings. You know, and you know, like how you said, like with my nephew, man, like that affected me too, bro. Like, well, you know, I'll say like he was a good piece of my life, bro. Like really was, bro. Like it helped me out a lot. You know, and I feel like around him I can be more me. You know what I'm saying? Like with around like your parents, you know, obviously you act a little different, you know, and you know, like being in a Mexican household, like I really couldn't ask my dad for advice like that. You know, I really couldn't go to him and be like, "Hey, dad, like, you know, like, I don't feel happy today, or like, I got some shit in my mind. I just don't sit by, you know, because you know, your Mexican dad just wants to work, you know,
Yep.
work and pay bills and take care of his family, and I get that. I respect that 100%, you know. But like someone like Jose was more like someone I can go to and be like, "Hey, bro, like I'm having a situation, or you know, like I'm going through this, bro. Like, what should I do,
Mm.
you know?" And like, you know, being there for my nephew, like that's all I wanted to do, bro. That's my brother, you know, like. He was someone that I wanted to make sure he's okay.
Mm.
You know, literally give him fucking clothes off my back. You know, because nah, bro, like I'm gonna take care of you because I'm here for you.
Yeah.
You know, and even to this day, man, like you know, like things are different now. You know, and you know, like he's doing his own thing. You know, he's living his own life. But even to this day, man, like I told, hey, come over. You know, let's chill. Or we still hang out. We talk about everything. You know, and to this day, I still tell him that, hey, man, like you know, whatever you want to do in life, bro, like go and do it, bro. Like don't let nothing hold you back.
Mm.
You know, don't let nothing hold you back, bro. Like you've been through so much stuff, bro, that there's no reason why you can't get through anything.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, and I think
So
I think he has a pretty good lady with him too. You know.
yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, oh
You
yeah.
know, and
She cooked good.
and you know, food's the way to go to a man's heart, bro. But yeah, dude, I like you said, you know, we'll talk about Jose, man. Like I have nothing but positive with him every time. You know, every time I
Yeah, for
needed
sure.
help with something, he'd be like, "Cool," you know, what, do this, go here, you know. And one of the funniest things for me, man, is every time I remember when I hear like people talk or something, he always used to say like lyrically instead of like literally. He would always say
Dude, no way,
lyrically,
bro.
bro. And
Dude, that's Joel.
and
He
I would
says
be
that
like,
all the time,
yo,
lyrically.
like literally, but then like after a while, you're like, all right, lyrically, right? But real quick, man, I want to share a story with him, man. We were at the apartments and we were doing our thing. And
Yeah,
Alina
for
was
sure.
out
Yeah.
there. I was out there. I think Martin was with us because me and Martin were always together. And me being me, bro, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna throw myself in the fucking pool. And I threw myself in the pool, closed everything, and my shoe got stuck like in the lifesaver, bro. So I was literally like
Uh,
upside down, fucking drowning. And everybody's like faded and shit. And he was the only motherfucker, bro, that was like, oh shit, he's fucking drowning. So he like jumps in the pool, fucking grabs me. And then after that, we just all started laughing, man. And but like I said, he worked on my cars, man. Like
yeah, for
he would
sure. Oh
never
yeah,
say
bro.
no to helping somebody. And I think there's some people that don't realize. Like I've gotten a chance to play
Yeah,
basketball with him, kicked it with him. We like he never was to a point where I felt like he was a disrespectful person.
yeah,
And I think that's something that a lot of people misconstrued while he was living, right? They
yeah.
judge too quick, right?
Oh yeah,
When
for sure.
I think he was a great person, right? And I think that's why, like, the grieving process for everyone's different. But I remember, man, I remember when I went, I hugged his mom, and she just cried on me. And I'm not that close to her mom, right? But I think
Yeah. Oh yeah.
she
Oh
felt that presence of like, yo, like he was a beautiful fucking soul. Like, regardless
yeah,
of what people say or thought or whatnot, is what he was a great person, right? And
yeah.
but that's one of my funnest memories, bro. He'd be like lyrically, and I'd just be like, bro, I'll be like literally. He'd be like lyrically, bro. And
That's funny,
and
man.
I
That's
just
funny.
always, I always had a kick with that shit, bro. But I think that when that happens to somebody, you get to see who really loved that person, right? And I think
Yeah,
like someone like your sister really loved him, bro. It took her so long
yeah,
to move on and to, I think she still hasn't moved on, right? But
yeah, yeah,
but she's doing a better place. She has a relationship now, everything. She seems happy, but it happened. It took, you know,
yeah. Exactly.
a long
Almost 10
time,
years type thing. Yeah,
and I'm like, yo, I want somebody to love me like that,
for
to
sure.
know that,
Yeah,
like, I I was so important to somebody that they never they won't get over me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
and that's something that would hold you down. Because I know him. If I had trouble, like, yo, bro, we're gonna about smack these fools up. He'd be the first one to show up. Like, let's get it cracking, right?
Oh, for
Um,
sure. Yeah,
it was just like that. Like, I think that from afar you get to see a lot more things, right? From afar,
yeah,
and I got to learn that. I got to learn to, like, sometimes I needed to take a step back and really realize, like there's so many people that I would have loved to help, but I think that I
yeah.
was afraid to try to help, right? Like, I wanted to try to
Definitely.
help. Like, now, if I could rewind time, right, I could help my grandma now with what I know now when it comes to diabetes and treatment how to
Exactly.
prolong somebody's life and the importance of certain
Yes.
things. But growing up, my nana would be like, hey, bring me, and I'll sneak a beer for her, you know what I'm saying? And, and but that's just our culture, man. Like, she died
Yeah,
at a family member's house, right? Like, we fuck with our loved ones until they're no longer in this earth.
yeah,
But I would love to help her. I would love to help my tío Marcelino. You know, like I think, like, we always say I want to help when it's way too late, and I think that's kind of like
yeah,
why I want to open up a podcast and open up that help guideline, man, to where sometimes somebody just needs a fucking hug. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like,
Oh, dude, for sure, bro. For sure, man.
sometimes a random person needs a hug. You don't know whose life you're saving, right? And I
Hmm.
think that I look at that back now, and I'm like, our family don't talk about how we have junkies in our family, how we had
Yeah,
alcoholics. We try to make sure that everything was perfect, or And I'm like, no, we blocked all that when we could have actually done something, and
yeah,
that's what sits negative with me now, because I'm like, every time they go see my Tio Vico, that was my, close, like, I loved
yeah,
him to death. But what we do every time we go see him, hey, buy him a 24 pack. Instead of like, hey, let's pay for his water bill or his light bill for a month or
yeah.
so. Now let's give him fuel that, and now he passed due to alcoholism,
Exactly.
right? So he was an alcoholic. That's what naturally killed him. We could have prevented that, right?
Hmm.
We could have done things, but as you're a child and you're young and you're naive, you're like, fuck it, just get him a 12 pack. you know. And
Yeah,
and
it's
I
my
think
tío.
yeah, you know, like let's give him his little fix. But like I was telling Rich, like my Tío Vicente when he was here, he will give you his shirt off his fucking back, you
Yeah, for
know.
sure,
And I think that
for
that's
sure.
some of the positive things that I took. Like my Tío Marcelino, he almost killed me when I was like 11 years old with a fucking hatchet in Nogales, you know, at my grandma's house because he was fiending, bro, and he wanted money. And my nana
Yeah,
was like, "No, no, get out of here!" And he started hacking that shit. A good thing my grandma's house was made out of fucking block, and you know
yeah.
she had that door that was made out of metal. But it's not funny because you know he passed away. But when he saw me, man, he didn't see me again until I would think it was like 24, no, maybe like 28. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know when he passed, but he saw me right before he passed. But I went to my tia Tonia's house, and I went to her little candy shop that she has in her house,
Yeah,
and he walked up, and I was like, "Oh, ¿qué se le ofrece, señor?" And he saw me, bro, and he started crying. And I'm like, "Why is he crying? Like, is he happy to see me?" He's like, "I've been waiting to see you to tell you I'm sorry." He's like, "Because I don't know if you remember." He's like, "But I almost killed you." He's
damn.
like, "And I've had to live with that all this time." And I'm like, it's cool. I remember. I'm like, you good. Hugged him. A few months later, bro, he passed. You
Yeah,
know? And I was like, damn. And I was so rich. I'm like, he taught me how to iron. He taught me how to like keep things neat. Like that was
yeah,
him. You know, junkie or
for
not,
sure.
that was him. You know, and now as I get older, man, like I see people that sometimes don't want to be helped. Like I try to help my brother, man, my older brother. He just doesn't want to be helped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm like, yo, like I can't continue to try to help you because every time I try to help you, it's not like, yo, bro, like I need help getting like a job or I need help doing this. It's more like, hey, can you give me some money? And I know that I'm not
yeah,
getting that shit back, right? You know,
yeah,
so
yeah, for
I'm like,
sure.
yeah, bro, like, you know, and he's an ITT Tech graduate. He knows all this shit, and I'm like, bro, like
Yeah,
independently, you can make so much money, like set up computers, do
yeah,
what you
for
got to
sure.
do, you know. And I feel like I want to be able to help people that want to be helped, you know, but
Yeah,
also like help them in a way where, you know, it's not financially gonna cost me like a lot of shit either, you know,
yeah, definitely.
because
Hell
I
yeah.
would love to do that, you know. But like I told my wife, one of the biggest things that I want to do is, you know, get a bunch of flowers and then go to my tia Maria's house and take her flowers. Go to your mom's house, take
Yeah,
her flowers while they're living. You know, go to your
yeah, for
dad.
sure, for
You
sure.
know, take your dad some flowers. You know, it's weird to receive flowers. Nah, guys should get flowers too. You know, why
Yeah,
are we only gonna get flowers when we're buried? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, definitely, man.
you gonna take me my flowers and I'm no longer here? Nah, I'm cool. You
Yeah,
know, like I want to be able to take them the flowers and be like, hey, you know, I'm here now. Like I had to fix me and my household before I can say, hey, let me invest some time here, right?
of course,
Um,
bro. Of
I want to
course.
be able to like offer your brother help. Like, hey man, we can go work out together. We can, you know, that's my
Yeah,
background. You know, I do physical therapy, I
yeah,
do food and all this, and I'm like, yo, like let's do it, you know, because I didn't have that, dude. I was close to 300 pounds. I had to do that shit
yeah,
myself. Like I didn't have
yeah. No,
somebody
it,
fucking help me down, be like, yo, let's do this, you know, and it hurts. Your body hurts, your knees hurt, your hips hurt,
yeah,
like you're in pain, right? But you gotta want that help, right? Um,
exactly.
but yeah, man, like I said, I know that you know there's a lot that people want to uncover, and a lot of people want to find out who they are, right? Like till this
Exactly.
day, I'm still finding out who I am, you know,
Yeah, of course, man.
and I'm 39. I'm still figuring out who the hell I am because I still inside. I feel
Yeah,
like I'm still 19, you know.
yeah, bro, for real,
I
right?
fucking I go play basketball, bro, and I'm doing this and that, and then the next day I'm like, oh shit,
You hurt?
bro. I feel like I'm like paralyzed, you know.
Yeah,
But it's a part of me. Like I just can't. I'll take the pain in order to go out there and play and do all that. Um, but a lot of times I want to ask you too, like obviously I know like you were doing the hat thing.
yeah, for
You
hell yeah,
know,
man.
like you still do that or
Yeah, like not as much, not as much, man. Like I said, I think like when I got my new position in my job, it really just gave me an opportunity to really see what I am about. and see what I can do, you know? Um, like honestly, like you have, like circle back how you say, like, you're proud to be Mexican, like with this job, man, like I feel that way because I'm probably the only Mexican in there that's like fucking Mexican that, didn't get a fucking college degree to do this shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, like just yeah, like just do hard work, bro. Like I tell people all the time, like you don't know how far you can get just by being a good worker, and like, people don't like being a yes man, but dude, like I'm not the type of person to say that's not my job. I'm the type of person to say, okay, that's fine with me. You got me for X amount of hours. I'm gonna do whatever I need to do. You know, and I feel like that's what helped me be better today. People don't understand that, right? And even like thinking about, I guess like what I want to say, shit, I got you brain fog right now. Shit, um, you know,
So
um,
I got other questions for you, man.
no. But what was the question again? I'm sorry, man. I got caught
Um,
up in some other shit.
so
I'm hearing my
so
kids in the background.
so because I remember when you started doing the hats, man, like very
Oh yeah,
vividly.
yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. We're
You
good. We're
used to
good.
get hats that looked like you found
Dude,
them in the bottom of the dirt, dig down there, like if
bro.
you would fucking unburied somebody and took the hat, like they were trash, bro, and you would make
Oh
them
yeah,
look like they fucking just came out of the store, bro. Um,
yeah.
like what gave you the idea to be like, yo, I'm gonna sling hats? Like what gave you that idea?
So when I was making music, right, I had a microphone, and my microphone was like freaking like $400, bro. And I recorded like two songs on that, and man, it was magical. And one day, my son was in like the studio, and he actually like hit the mic, and it fell and broke, bro.
Oh,
And I was like, fuck, man, like we're living in an apartment, man. Like I had a buddy that was in like music school, so he actually like hooked me up like really good on that microphone. And I was like, fuck, man. So I was like, man, like, dude, like, I gotta make some side money, Like, I'm freaking 20 years old, like, make a minimum wage, like, like, I don't got money like that, like, So I was like, damn, dude. So I've always been into like, like fashion, I guess you can say, like, I've always liked to like, like look for like different styles and stuff like that. So even now, I was thrifting a lot, and I would find things that, like I find like a starter jacket, old school 90s jacket. I'll find a 90s shirt. I'll find, hats from the Chicago Bulls era from 1996, like three-piece stuff. And I'll find this stuff, man, and I'll curate it and I'll keep it for myself because, like, I liked it. And it wasn't until, like, like social media, I was like, man, like, people are making money off this, bro. Like, shit, bro. Like, let me see what the hell I can do, And one thing about me, man, is when I find something I like, bro, like, I like to get deep in it, Like, I like to get deep to, like, know, like, okay, I'm walking through a Goodwill, man, and I can see a shirt from, like, 10 feet away, and I know it's going to be something because I know I looked it up. I Googled everything, Like, I can, I can walk into a thrift store and I'll see a hat that's like this. Like, I won't even see the front. I'll see like this and I'll grab it because I already know it's something. And it's not until you actually like see the people that are willing to pay for this stuff, bro. It's crazy, man. Like, no, I've had hats. I literally 2 weeks ago, bro, because I don't do it as much, but I still go thrifting. Dude, I found a hat for $2. I sold it for 350.
bro, I seen it when you used to post, bro. I used to put this hat, there, and then like sold, sold, sold. I was like,
Dude,
shit. Like
man, bro.
like for me, man, I was like, damn, like that's a hustle, man. Like other than the hats, though, bro, like and all of that, is there something that like I'm big on entrepreneurship, man. I
Yeah,
think
for
that that's
sure.
one of the biggest gifts you can get in life, right? I have,
Hmm.
the oldest one. She's like, I don't want to work for nobody. I'm like,
Yeah, for
dude,
sure,
you're
man.
so into technology. Like her room's all fucking decked out. I don't know how much money we spend in her room, but she has monitors and iPads and a drawing pad. I'm like, you go and do something with this shit, right?
Yeah, yeah, for
The
sure, for
other one
sure.
likes fashion, but what would be a dream of yours? You're like, yo, like if I can start my hobby into my forever job, or what is something that you would love to be like, yo, I want like this to be for Luis, like this is gonna be something
Yeah,
that's gonna
man.
hit.
It's like I said, like earlier this week when I wrote down my goals, man, I wrote down like, I want a passive income, but something that's I can eventually make it full time, you know? Um, I've been looking into like digital drop shipping, which is really like it's more like you're not stocking items, you're mostly just selling it to someone online, So like I find a TV for $200 and it's selling on maybe like Amazon for 400. I don't even go and physically get it. I just buy it for them and sell it to them. Like it's like a middleman, right? Like that's what being an entrepreneur is really about, is being a middleman, you know? Um, Also like I've been wanting to get into not real estate, but wholesaling, right?
Yeah.
So that's what like I've been like, just pondering and really trying to focus on what I want to do because I feel like wholesaling is a whole different game. It's a higher risk versus real estate because real estate obviously, like you're selling a house to someone that's going to live there forever, right? Versus wholesaling, you would want to find a house that is a fixer upper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say the house is 200K, but the value around that house is 300. Instead of me investing the money to fix it, I sell it for an extra 20,000 to the person who wants to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
So still being that middleman, but making my money out of it
Yeah.
and doing less is what I want to eventually get into,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So like I said, I narrowed down to those two things. And I think from here is just really figuring out what it takes to do that stuff,
Yeah.
and also I want to get into stocks, like I want to get into something like that to where, I can use that, I guess, digital money that's in a stock to get loans, obviously, to start these businesses, because people don't understand, like, you don't need money to do things sometimes,
Yeah.
you just need to know how to work your way to do it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Yeah.
I feel like that's my goal, man, is to be financially free, you know, set up my kids for success. 'Cause at the end of the day, it's not about me no more,
Right.
Like, how you told me, like, man, I used to really have my haircuts all fresh, man. Like, yeah, man, I used to, man, and I realized it's not what's on you, it's what's in you. You know what I'm saying,
Yep.
man? Like, I think being a parent, man, it gives you a different perspective on what you want out of life, man.
Exactly. I
What you want
agree.
out of life.
I agree. Like you say, you got to set your kids up, man, and I think that's why I want to have so many avenues, just because of that, right? I want to be
Yeah.
able to have so many of like that's it's cool. Like you can take over this, and you can take over this, and you ain't got to worry about that, right? Like Olivia, man, she be getting on here. She'll be like, "Follow the Miscellaneous Podcast, get our merch." I'm like, I ain't even got merch, you know.
You're
But
gonna have some now.
I did tell Rich about this, man. I wanted to ask because when I told him that you draw, he's like, I didn't know that Luis draws. I'm like, he gets down. I'm like, he gets down. I wanted to ask, man, if I want people that I know that I can call and be like, hey man, like I'm going through this. We talk wrestling all the time when pay-per-views are
Yeah,
coming
hell yeah.
out. We could talk basketball, we won. But what I wanted to ask you, man, is if you would do me the honor to kind of actually make my miscellaneous podcast emblem logo, my design that I'm gonna carry, that I'm gonna put on my merch, that I'm gonna put on my podcast.
Oh,
I,
heck
I
yeah, bro.
want I want you to have free range of what you think would implement miscellaneous, right? Um, and I want to brand it, man. I want to actually see if you want to do what brands for me, and it if it all takes off and it's all great, we succeed together.
Yeah,
I
for sure, man.
give Moo a big shout out and Rich for being the first people on. Like Rich been telling me to do my podcast for the last 3-4 years. Like this podcast has
Yeah.
been thought of 3-4 years ago. And every time we get on the Expo, he's like, "So you're gonna do it yet? You're gonna do it yet?" I'm like, I don't know." And I was like, "Fuck it, let's just do it." I work from home now. I network. I do different things. I'm like, I got time. I'm like, let's do it. but I
Yeah.
wanted to know, man, just come up with like 2, 3 designs for me, and I could put them up on my social media and see what people like
Yeah,
the
hell yeah,
best.
man.
Or I might just be like, I'm gonna use this for 3 months. I'm gonna use that for But just creatively, man. Like I want you to.
Yeah, for sure,
I
man.
think like people like us, Rich, you, and me, that have all these things going on, man. It's so easy for us to think outside the box because, like you
Yeah.
said, you're in sales. Rich is actually like in marketing, digital marketing, sales. I'm in, doing the same thing. I recruit, I sell, I market. Like we have to be able to think out the box, right?
Of course.
Kind of like when I used to freestyle. You got to think out the box.
Hmm.
And people don't understand that. Like when I used to freestyle, I didn't write shit. Like I just go. And to be able to process everything, boom, 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 boom. And I think that we have that sleepless mentality, man. But I want you to just think about it, man, and come up with pretty much my logo, man. My what's gonna be
Of course,
branded
man. Oh
for
yeah,
me.
bro. Fuck yeah.
And like I said, I was like, hopefully you take it as like an honor, bro, because um, like I said, like Rich was like, he draws. I'm like, yeah, like he gets down. And he's like, I didn't know that. I'm like, that's the thing, bro. We don't know a lot about even our own families, man. I'm like, we
Yeah,
don't
for
know
sure.
talents that we might have. We don't know goals that we might have. We might have similar goals, And like I told him, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of trying to start like my food truck and push it and there's just so many things, right? And I tell people, if you feel like you have all the time in the world, you're not doing shit. Because
Yeah.
like for me, I feel like I got no time. By the time I wake up, I'm answering my calls, getting my coffee, getting my kids ready, going to school, coming back, focusing on what I'm doing. Shit, I Uber on the side, have my app on. If I
Yeah.
find a good one, I'm going. Like constantly, if you have time to just say I don't have nothing to do, then you're wasting your
Yeah.
time, right? You're wasting your potential.
Definitely,
But
man.
like I said, man, like you want to do wholesales, man. That's all. As long as you can prove somehow that you have a capital to get the down payment and all that, they'll ring around. It's called the ring around sale, like where you're gonna already sell it before you even close on the house, right? Before
Exactly.
you even close, like so you say, hey, my closing date, I want it to be 90 days out. That gives you 90 days to sell that property, right? If you
Hmm.
don't sell within the 90 days, then you're gonna start having some
Then
money
as
get out of your pocket.
yeah.
But property investing, man, that's something that's smart too because it gives you an
Yeah.
outlet. Like I made 20 grand, I'm gonna go invest this in like RAs or Roths, aggressive Roths,
Yeah.
and that's what people don't understand, dude. It's really a mentality of we got to stop thinking that, like you said, having nice shoes and haircuts and this and that is important because it's not.
Yeah.
I'm a sinner. I used to have like 60 pairs of Jordans. You know, I don't even remember the last time I bought a pair of Jordans.
Yeah.
Like I go get the what is it, the finish line 2 for 50. I'm like, it's cool as
Right.
long as they're all black. I'm cool. You know,
Hell yeah.
but you really, man, like I said, I want you to see if you could come up with what I think miscellaneous would be, man. And incorporate, things that be creative, man. Like I said, I
Yeah, for sure, man.
know,
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna be like, hey, I want this, or I want that, and I want you for it to come out of your heart, man, and so I could be like, yo, this meant something to him, and that's why I'm proud to have it as my logo, as something that I want to carry and be like, yeah, you guys like that? My cousin made it. Who knows? Maybe I turn you into a graphic designer and
Hey,
shit,
dude.
you
Hey,
know.
man. Honestly,
But
bro.
but like I
Honestly.
said, man, I do want to ask that of you, man. Come up 2, 3 things, and I'll be like, yo, I'm gonna rock with this one. Just whatever you think miscellaneous, would represent, and
Yeah,
I
man.
want
You already got me thinking, man. Honestly.
good, man, and like I said, dude, I want to appreciate you coming on here, bro, and hopefully next time we talk, you are starting, to work on some of the things as far as like, the drop shipping or the, like, hey, like I'm talking to certain investors, because
Yeah, for sure,
there's
man.
people
For
out there
sure.
that will invest because they have extra money
Oh
to
yeah.
burn and then they need that tax write off. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
One of the people that helped me a long time ago, he had a business. He told me the same thing. Hey, do you want to invest in something? Because I got to just use a tax write off. And I was like, fuck yeah, but now it's like if I knew, I don't even know where the fuck he's at, but if I were to find him, I'd be like, yo, you need to invest again because I gotta get this food truck going.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure, man.
but just hanging out, I gotta surround myself with the right people, and and if I want this food truck, I need somebody that's just as hungry, because I can't do it
Yeah.
by myself, and that's the thing that I think I learned along the way is sometimes you do need the help, and
Yeah.
I think that like I was trying to start all this by myself, and then when Rich was like, "Yo, just do it," have a son, and then the way that they promoted it on their pages and they're doing this, and I'm just like, "Yo, I didn't ask for any
Yeah.
of that. Like, you guys just like, hey, let's do this, and this." And like I think I want to do that. Like if I, have the right to sit down with your sisters or your brother, or I actually want to sit down with my sisters and my brother at the same time, and have
Yeah.
them get all the burdens that they have out. But I want
For
them
sure.
also for them to become a part of miscellaneous, right? A part of what I'm trying to build, and trying to find that, trying to find, a place where when they see it, they're like, "Yo, I have a way that I started helping with that,
Yeah.
and that's the biggest thing for me, man. Like, one of the toughest ones that I think I want to do is I want to sit down and interview my mom. You know, I wanna really have her know that she needs to open up and let all the things that damaged her out. And I think that
Yeah.
that's the
For sure.
only way that she is going to start to change, right? Because a lot
Yeah.
of people don't know her story. They don't know why she's the way that she is. I didn't, I just thought she was mean as hell,
Yeah.
and as you get
Hmm.
older, you're like, damn, like my mom didn't hate me, but her mom did, like
Yeah, bro.
stuff like that. Like I didn't get hit with the water hose, but they did. Like, you start thinking of stuff like that. It's like, is it protective or is it abuse, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I want to sit down with her and have that conversation, because one of the things I did tell her, I think I was like 22 years old when I first saw her, I was like, I don't, I don't love you, but I respect you. And moving
Yeah.
forward, we have to be like friends before anything, because there's a big
Yeah.
gap, right? And I think that that's very important. Like I want to be able to sit down with like just get the history of where we come from to start this, man. Like I want to
Yeah.
know. Like I want to know things from your mom's eyes, from your dad's eyes, like from
Yeah.
perspectives of people where we were just like, yo, we had no idea that you guys were that broke. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, man. Yeah. Hell yeah,
Like
bro.
I
That's what
want
people
to.
don't get, man.
Yeah, I want to get to know that, man, and I really want to get to know that, like other people too that are going through certain things, right? I sent a video to Rich that there was a guy on stream that some dude told him like, kill yourself, and some other guy was like, no, you're important,
Yeah,
like
for
I
sure, bro.
rock with your hat, I rock with that shirt, yo, and like he's like, don't kill yourself, you're important. One of my
Yeah.
friends, one of my friends back in the day, his brother hung himself because he was being bullied at school. Shortly after that, his mom killed herself. You know, and I'm like, yo, like we don't have to be that toxic to where we're poisoning other people to do something like that, right? I think
Yeah.
that
Oh
no
yeah.
matter no matter how or what you are, you're important to somebody, right? You're important to somebody. You're important to a
Definitely,
fucking
man.
dog than be important to a fucking dog. Like, but
Yeah.
someone cares about you for you to be here, right? And it's kind of why I want this platform, man. I want people like I know people, Rich and them know people. Like I want to be there to where they're like, hey, I want to hop on your podcast just to talk about what's bugging me. I'll sit here and listen to you for an hour and be like, yo, if I see you, I'm gonna go give you the biggest hug you can get, man. I got you, right? Um, and that's the biggest thing for me, man. Like I don't need to make more money off of this shit. Like I don't need to do. I just kind of want to do it out of the purity. Obviously, if it gets to the point where that starts coming in, I'm not gonna say no to it either. You
Yeah, for
know,
sure, man. Hell
but
yeah.
but it's always gonna be that. Like, and I tell people like I haven't changed in 39 years, even though when I was poor or when I had to live with your sister and my cousin and we had the apartment, we were making it, getting by,
Yeah.
or now that I'm financially okay, I'm still the same
Yeah.
fucking person. Like I ain't gonna change. Like I'm not riding
Yeah.
around in a Tesla or trucks or this and that. Like I'm riding around with what's gonna get me to where I need to be.
Exactly,
And
man.
I think that we need reminders of that sometimes. And
Yeah.
I feel like I gotta set myself up with a team like that. That's gonna be like, yo, like you're getting too cocky, and you're like, come back down a little
Yeah.
bit. It's important. It's important to do that. But like I said, man, I want you to design my logo. Want you to design it and see what you come up with. I'm gonna do the
Oh yeah,
same.
man.
I'm gonna do the same on my end. Just see if there's any similarities to what we're gonna do.
I feel like
Because
there
like
is,
what
man.
people
We're
don't
both in the
know, you're
garage
in your
right now.
garage. You're in your garage. I'm in my
You know
garage.
what I'm saying, man?
And we didn't even
And
plan that shit. You know.
nah, man. You know,
You're wearing black. I'm wearing black.
for real, man.
Um, but
That's crazy, man. You don't know how much you have in common until like that's like I've been watching all your videos, bro. Like honestly, bro, I've been watching every single one of them, and like I text Shamu when I text you, right, and I was like, hey man, like like I think we have more in common than what we think. I text Shamu, I was like, yo, bro, like that's crazy how you're like on some, you're on one, bro, because I've been on one. And then like Richie, if I do like I never heard your perspective on music like that. Like it made me think like, wow, like like it does make sense when he raps because I can hear his flow is I love Richie's flow, like I love when Richie raps, man, because Richie like he brings that aura that you're like, okay, go, bro, I'm in my shit now, like Rich is here, bro, like I'm gonna get in my different zone because he's bringing out something out of that.
yep.
So it definitely is good to have like what you're doing right now, bro. To have a platform for everybody to obviously express themselves, bro, but also relate to each other more than what we think. Like
Yep.
there's more than just how you doing and I'll see you later.
Yeah. Like I said, man, whenever you want to hop on, bro, let me know. I want to hop on one day with you, me, Rich, Juan, all of us, and just kind of hang out, man. Um,
Yeah, for sure, man.
hang out and probably have a couple bottles. Hey, now just
Hey, shoot,
hang out and just
Shannon Sharp.
talk, man. Hell yeah, man. Just kind of do it that way. Like I told Rich that I want to interview him and Juan because he held
Yeah,
my brother down so much, like kind of like you and
yeah, for
Joel.
sure.
Like I want to
Yeah,
get you two on and just be like, yo, like I commend y'all for doing that. Like that's a brotherhood, you know what I'm saying? And I think that it's important for Joel to hear that too, for him to be like,
yeah,
for him to hear like, yo, somebody else saw how big of a person Luis is, man. Like how big of a person you are, how important you are, bro. At the end of the day, I want you to realize that you are a very
yeah, for sure,
important
man. I
person, my
appreciate
guy.
that, bro.
Um,
I really do.
when you're having difficult days, you're questioning yourself, like, am I making the right moves, or am I? Just look at everything you've done, bro, and don't give up. Don't give up on whatever you got planned, bro.
Yeah,
You got a little Nas, you got your other precious little baby.
yeah, bro. I know, man. I know, man. Shit, man.
But for me, man, like I said, I think that fatherhood struck you at a young age, but you got to take
Yeah,
advantage of that young age, right? You got to take advantage of
yeah,
how you're molding them, how you're molding your princes, how you're molding your king. You got to take
yeah.
advantage of that because we are their examples, right? I
Exactly.
had Olivia, she's 6 years old, but she's been selling manula with me since she was 5. She has a
Yeah,
big old burn on her arm for making tortillas, right? And every time she looks at it, she's like, but they were so good, you know?
yeah,
And you get to really do that. You get to really show who you're gonna be off of them. Like that's your legacy, man. That is your legacy right
exactly.
there. I saw y'all playing basketball, bro, and I was like, damn, I wish I was right there. You know, um, but at the same time, man, like there's gonna be opportunities and times, and like I said, I would love to have you back on here whenever you want, man. And I want to have you and Joel on here, and just
Yeah,
let them
hell yeah,
know,
man.
like no matter what, bro, like you turned out to be an exceptional person, right?
Of
Like,
course.
and that's I think it's important. And it's important for our parents to see that, right? Like I want your mom to know, like maybe your mom doesn't see that, right? Like, damn, that's true.
Yeah.
Like, Luis held this dude down when he needed him the most. Like nobody else. Like he held him down like that.
Oh yeah, bro.
Melina. Melina's probably
And
like, like if Melina would see that and be like, damn,
yeah.
my brother's fucking awesome, right? And I
Oh yeah,
think
bro.
like Judy sees that now with me. She's like, oh,
Yeah.
David's fucking awesome. He's crazy. He always wants to do this and do that and do this. I'm like, hey, the world my playground. I'm gonna fucking play. I'm gonna live.
Exactly,
I'm gonna
bro.
live. I'm gonna die. Like I've been close, man. The last time I was hospitalized, it was the first time I told April, like I was actually fucking scared.
Yeah.
And I told her that afterwards, like after like my surgery and everything. I was like, do you know what? This is the first time out of all times that I've been either hospitalized or sick that I was actually scared. I'm like, that I
Yeah.
was actually like, yo, what if I don't wake up? Like, and she
Hmm.
was like, what? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I was actually like scared, and I'm like, I tried to act like I wasn't, you know. And then like that's when it was weird. I think she noticed it though because she right away like when she left, like she told Judy, and then Judy
Yeah.
came, and then like my mom came, and I was like, what the fuck, you know. And I think that she felt it, like no matter how hard I
Yeah.
try to hide it, I think she felt it, and she's like, I better let them know just in case, right? And
Yeah,
then
for
she broke
sure.
down and cried when I told her. I was like, yo, I was actually afraid. You know, for the
Yeah.
first time ever, I think I was actually scared. And I was telling Rich that when I was waking up, bro, I felt myself like I was just fighting, bro. A bunch of people were just grabbing me, and I was just like literally like just punching and kicking. And then I woke up. So I was like, yo, like, was I going to hell? Like, what the fuck?
Damn.
Like, and then you start thinking, bro, I'm like, yo, was I going to hell? Like, did I do something wrong? What the fuck?
Yeah.
But then, like April's like, well, maybe that's just you like fighting to be here, like fighting
Yeah.
to get better, and you're fighting all your bullshit that you need to get out, and that's one of the things that I think that that's not gonna happen until I have that sit down with my mom and get all
Yeah.
that bullshit out, both ways, right? We're either gonna walk out better or we're gonna walk out the same way that we left, and
Yeah, for
I
sure,
mean, at
man.
the end of the day, man, like I said, I love to share this platform, man. I want you to share it with people that man. That way they can get to know who Luis was. Like I said, I get people like, I know you had a stepdad. I'm like, I don't. I mean, yeah, he's my stepdad, but I
Right?
don't. You know.
Yeah, man, for
Um,
sure, man.
but like I said, man, I commend you for what you're doing, man. Keep striving, man, on your hardest and darkest days, man. My phone's
Yeah, dude,
always
honestly, bro.
available, you know. Um, but like I said, dude, thank you so much. And tell people what you got going, what you're doing, and we'll exit out, bro.
Yeah, man. I just want to just biggest thing that I think I want to tell right now is like I just want to tell people, like I'm very like motivational. Like I love to listen to motivational people. Like I'm at work, man. I'm feeling kind of like, man, like I'm tired, because sometimes you don't sleep a lot, and I put on a podcast or I put on, some like Eric Thomas or David Goggins, somewhere that it just, get you in that mindset. Is I just want to tell people, man, like just stay positive, man. Just stay positive, like find what motivates you. Like, find your why in life. Find your why. And people, like a lot of people say, I do it for my kids, I do it for my kids. Yeah, hell yeah, do it for your kids, but do it for you too, man. Do it for you. Like you deserve everything you want as well, man. You know, uh, Being selfish doesn't have to be you going out for a drink. It doesn't have to be you going outside and smoking some weed. Nah, man, being selfish is taking an hour to learn something new, to hit the punchy bag, hit the gym, make sure that the time that you take for yourself is something to better yourself, bro. Because a lot of people like, and I've been there, man, like, oh man, like I'm gonna just drink my feelings away and drink my bullshit away. Guess what? They're still there tomorrow, you know? They're still there tomorrow, bro. It's better to have a clear mind to figure out what you're gonna do to get out of the situations you're in, you know?
Yeah, beautiful,
So
man.
definitely, man, like just be positive. Like, you know, uh, same thing how you say, man, like mental health is a big thing, like I think I've dealt with that so much when I was younger. Like I've had moments where like, fuck man, like, like what the fuck am I doing something wrong? You know what I'm saying? But that also comes with maybe you are, bro, Are
Yep.
you are you are you are you really giving your 100%? Are you really trying your best? Like, like I tell people all the time, I try to with my brother, bro. Like I try to. I feel like sometimes I'm the bigger brother, and he'll tell you that too, Like he'll tell you that too, like yeah, like he looks up to me sometimes, man, and I always felt like I was a big bro, and I've always liked to feel that way, man. Like when about like like 7 years ago, we were living with Marissa. I was living with Marissa's family, and they don't have a father, and she has three younger siblings, man. So I was the man there, like I would help them out trying to get through things, like I would be like, hey, bro, you need a shirt? Go to my closet. You need some pants? Go to my closet, like if I'm gonna look good, bro, you're gonna look good too, you
Yeah.
know? I'm gonna take care of you, bro. Like I've never been the type of person where I'm not gonna worry about the people around me, you know? Just because if you're on my team, bro, like bro, we're Scotty, we're Jordan and Pimpin, bro. Like if I shine, you shine. You know, I give out advice like all the time, you know, like my coworkers at work that are younger than me, man, like Joel, like, you know, they ask me for help, dude, I will give it to you. Why? Because I believe the more you give, the more you'll get, you know? And why would I hold what I know? Why would I hold that from
Right.
anybody?
Right.
You know, there's enough for everybody to be successful in life, man. And you're not gonna be you can be successful, but I promise you, you're gonna burn bridges if you don't just do things the right way.
Yep.
And you don't want to burn bridges, you know?
Yep.
So that's how I feel, man. You know, just be positive and give every day your all, man. Give every day your all, and you'll know the differences. You'll know the difference you're doing every day. You'll know the performance you're doing at work. You know, you'll get rewards. You know, because that's how the universe works, bro.
Yep.
You know, it's not gonna not work out because it has to. That's the way the world works, man. The results come with hard work.
Yep.
You know, you work hard, you're gonna get the results, man. You know
Yep.
how you said, man, you're always doing something. You're always on a hustle. That's why you can eat a steak tonight.
Yeah, but
It might be a steak, but guess what? It's a steak that you can have, man.
yeah, it's gonna be a steak, but you can never forget about the fucking frijoles and tortillas, bro.
You know what I'm
You
saying,
know,
bro?
like that
You
shit get
know,
hard
man.
sometimes, bro.
Oh
I love when
man.
I get to get my beans and tortilla, bro, and I'm just like, yo, that's heaven to me, you know.
Yeah, man.
But
And it's like
if
oh my bad, my bad.
you good.
Yeah, you good, you good, you good.
If you want, if you're okay with it, I'll drop send me like your social links in case people got questions for
Yeah,
you, or you know people want to get to know Luis's a little more, like a little more. If you guys have questions, like hit me up too, and I'll ask them and we get them back on. Um, have him back on the show, man. And like I said, goals are goals, man. Hopefully, I can, you know, the end of next year or something, have a pretty cool studio where I can set up the podcast and have people actually come and like a little studio session. And
yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
it's probably gonna be in my garage, but like as soon as
Hey,
I get room,
it's that good
but
feel.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like get the AC going up in here. Right now I could do it because it's cold, but
Hey, for
you
real.
know, like you know, have
For
people
real.
come down here and just have a good session, man. And you know, I
Yeah,
want to
man.
be able to explore people's gifts, man. So if you want to send me your social media links and I could post them on the podcast. I mean, if you guys have questions or want to get to know more, get some inspirational quotes of him, or maybe you have advice about wholesales that you want to share with him as well. Um, let's
For
go ahead
sure.
and
For
let's go ahead
sure.
and get that, man. But I want to say thank you, man, for coming to my podcast. And you know, hopefully, you know, I get to see the podcast again. And maybe we could do the podcast when you come up with the design with the logo for it. And then we'll probably go out to eat, man. See if we want to go catch a burger or something, and
Nah,
you
heck yeah,
know,
man. Heck yeah.
we'll do it there while we're eating, and we'll reveal the logo that's gonna be on everything. And I got you on the first shirts and stuff that I made, bro. I got you. I'm gonna send them your way,
Hey,
bro.
man.
Um,
I got a buddy that makes shirts too, bro. So honestly, I think we can do all this in one pot, bro.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. And, you know, yeah, dude, hopefully I can have you, Joel, and more people come on and you know, just really start spreading change and spreading, you know, love and positivity, you know,
Hmm.
instead of anger and negativity, right? Hugs are free,
Definitely,
you
bro.
know, caskets ain't, bro. You know,
Yeah.
and people don't realize that. I have that slogan on hugs are free, caskets ain't, you know,
Man, that's a good one, bro. That's a good one.
because you know people don't realize that, you know, and uh, I want to put that on one of my shirts. You know, hugs are free,
Yeah.
caskets ain't. You know, and just have random people give you a hug feels good sometimes. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
but man, stay positive, stay good, man. Thank you. And anything else to say, man? Just you know, end it.
No, man, you're good, bro. I appreciate you, man. You know, I appreciate you. I respect you a lot, you know, and I hope you just keep thriving on this and, you know, let's see where we can go, man. You know,
Man, appreciate it, man.
they always say is the only
All
way
right,
to go is up.
there, yo. All right, bro. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good one. Peace out.
Peace out, man.
What up, what up, what up, world? Hopefully, you guys enjoyed that episode with me and my cousin Luis. Many more things to come. Y'all stay blessed. And if you guys want to be a part of the Miscellaneous Podcast, you just got to shoot me a message. Also, follow me on Snapchat at JCPick23.